It's a beautiful day in the hood. It's really a nice day, actually. I just finished having a somatic therapy session with this really awesome coach. She's like a somatic therapy coach, which I'll try to share her stuff online on Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'll share her stuff so that you guys know who I'm talking about. Her name is Rachel Friendly. Bug. So anyways, I just had a really awesome somatic therapy session. And this is like the session that I won. I won it in like a contest on Instagram. And I knew to even apply for this contest because my friend is being coached by this person in like somatic healing like trauma from your body and stuff like that. And even before having like actual sessions with her, my friend was sort of coaching me already, just talking to me about what to do, how to do it, how to like release tension through your body and all these things. So I feel like I've been really benefiting from it. Like it's actually changed my life quite a bit. And I've been reading a lot, like reading Dr. Peter Levine, who is like the founder of the somatic experiencing movement. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. I'll probably talk about it more in the future, but just somatic healing, learning that like our traumas are not always stuff that we can reason with in like talk therapy and stuff, because they're feelings, and the feelings are like in our bodies, and the feelings aren't necessarily just always going to come out like by using conscious stuff. Like sometimes we have to use body stuff to get it out. Like you have to, because it's just not enough to just like, sometimes it's just lodged in our bodies. So because it happened so long ago, or it happened before you even had words or a conscious mind to think about, and might even have happened in a way that we wouldn't necessarily think about as being traumatic in our conscious mind. So if you understood that, that's okay. If you didn't understand that, that's okay too. So anyways, I just had an awesome somatic therapy session, and but it was also talking. It was really, really fascinating. And this person also happens to live in Bali, and we just went through so many different things, like range of feelings. I'm in this position where I'm like feeling confident enough and like healthy enough that I'm like recovering. I've been going to fitness classes like almost every day. I've been going to the gym almost every day. I'm talking low because we have neighbors, and like it's kind of awkward actually. But I've been doing like healing stuff for myself almost every day. Andrew's been getting better. He's been recovering. Like we've both been getting better, not having like diarrhea as much. We have like, there's days when the diarrhea comes back like on and off, just because I think it's attached to our central nervous system. We get nauseous, we get diarrhea, all that, but it's not every single day. So it's really, really getting better. We're seeing the signs of it getting better, and it's affecting the way that we think too. Like my thoughts are getting better. It's tied to my body. Hold on. I need to go to a more private place. Hey, what's up? Pretty good rates today. Exchange of money. She's working very hard. A delicious slice of carrot cake. Did you like it, babe? What are you making? Yeah. Game looks exciting.
Not really.
I'm excited to play it. Back at home. So actually, is this screen blurry? Hold on. Yeah, so actually, the lighting here. Okay, so I I went outside, I exchanged money, then I hung out a little bit with Andrew. He's working on his stuff, and then I came back here because I forgot my earphones and whatever. So like I forgot my earphones, and then I wasn't able to like listen to stuff on my phone, and then I also forgot like some other stuff to write on or whatever. So I was just saying earlier, so a lot of things that we think that, like, I feel like a lot of things that we think that we are actually thinking in our heads is just stuff that's in our body. And if you notice, like, our feelings change. That's part of why I went into somatic therapy, why I did this therapy session. And I haven't even talked to her about this, but I've decided that I'm going to try to create some kind of arrangement with her where even after my sessions are up, that I can do coaching with her long term, like get a deal or work for her close up, because I'm in Bali and she lives in Bali. But I haven't talked to her about this yet. I talk about this in my book a lot, by the way, about creating arrangements when you really need something, like something that you could really use, like coaching in a certain subject, or I don't know, like you want to learn a certain skill or something that can get you to the next level in your wealth, success journey, whatever, but you can't afford it. So creating some kind of arrangement where you go to the person and you ask them, hey, can I work for you for free in exchange for this service or for this exposure, for this knowledge? Can I babysit your kids every week in exchange for a free meal or something? Like, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do, arrangements that you can do that don't have to involve like getting a salary that can get taxed or that can be recorded and then you lose your, I don't know, your social security or disability or whatever it is that you get in your country. Like, instead of, there's like a lot of ways to get paid, and especially if you're in a country where you're not allowed to work legally. Like here, I'm not allowed to work legally. I'm not allowed to like work for someone for money. So you can do arrangements where you barter your time, basically, or you barter your skills or whatever it is in exchange for what knowledge, skills, time that the other person can give you. So like a friendship. But like a friendship with certain expectations and boundaries, and even better than a lot of friendships. So hold on, I need to show you guys my outfit. So ta-da! This is my outfit. And I want to start designing clothes like this, but it's going to take time, like it's going to take, we've figured out exactly what, we know exactly what we're going to be doing, how the process, by we, I mean me and Andrew, but we're not doing it together, but we're doing it at the same time. Like, we're doing it as people alongside each other, but we're not like doing the same brand together. Mostly because I want to have my own stuff going on. Like, I don't want to merge financially with him, because he has a whole life and he has like people in his life, and I don't want them to ever think that they have any kind of connection with me, because I need to protect my own energy. So anyways, and I say this in all my videos, like, I really hope that at this point it doesn't matter, because nobody from Andrew's world like follows me or watches my stuff or like anything like that. But we actually talked about this in my somatic therapy session. Like, a lot of the feelings that you have, even this fear that I'm saying, like, oh, like Andrew's family, or like Andrew's life and world or whatever, like a lot of these fears, like, they're not actually fears that are only in our brain, like it's in our body. Like, your mind is in your body, so like it's no coincidence that you automatically have better thoughts, better opinions, happier thoughts, happier opinions when you had a good night of sleep, when you ate a good meal, when you're healthier, when you've been working out every day. So like certain lifestyles will contribute to more positive overall ideology and mindset. It's not like something that is just in your head, because what is in your head is in your head, in your body, right? So I think that people really forget that, and they just kind of get stuck in their head, and they think like, this is my opinion, and it is your opinion, but it's also very much colored by your body. So like, most people's problems would be fixed if they fixed their body. And it's really true, but I think people just don't have the mindset for it, so they won't believe it. They won't do it. They won't go to the gym every day because they're like, oh, well, my problem will still be there. Why would going to the gym fix this random thing? Because going to the gym will improve your body. And I'm just using that as an example. Going to the gym, being active every day, being really active, not just like trying to fit a quota like the way that you do at your job as a slave worker, but like actually caring about your body and improving it, and like caring about yourself, really investing in yourself, in your body. It's going to change the way your body is. It's going to change the way that you feel every day, the way that you're gonna feel better. You won't even know why. It's gonna happen over time. First it's gonna make you feel shitty. For the first week you're gonna feel tired. You might even get sick. But after a few weeks, after a few months, like you'll get better. You'll start to feel better. You won't know why. And you'll start to feel less inclined towards toxic ideas, because ideas can be toxic or better, healthier, more positive, less positive, more negative. So you'll start to feel more inclined towards more positive ideas, more progressing, whatever you want to call it, ideas that progress your life more, and less towards ideas that don't. And your worldview can really change with big, huge life changes. People's worldviews can change dramatically when their life changes dramatically, but most people's life will never change dramatically. It's usually going to take like many generations for people's lives or their like timeline to really change. But I feel like my life has changed a lot, actually. Like my body has changed a lot. Like everything in my existence has changed dramatically within my lifetime. I do think that's unique. Like when I talk to people, the more people I get to know, the more people I talk to, the more I realize how utterly alone I am in my experience. Like I really, either there's like a miscommunication, or there are not a lot of people like me. And the people that are like me, like I know, because I know it right away, but like 90-something% of the time, I am utterly alone. And it's actually it just feels lonely. Like I talk to people, I try to connect. Most people are stuck in a box. There's so many different boxes, but most people are like in the same places they were forever, and they will still be in the same places they were forever. And like they're not really changing. They're not progressing. They're not moving anywhere. They're not improving. Like they're just always stagnant in wherever they are. And yeah, that makes me feel alone, because I feel like this energy of constant movement. Yeah, I think the main way that I've been changing recently is less constant movement, and learning how to be in one place more. Like Andrew's a little different than me, where he's been in one place for like many years at a time. You know what I mean? Like he's been in like one state for most of his life, and didn't want to leave it. Like didn't think to leave it. Like I don't know. Like that actually is something I've needed more recently. Like that energy of like staying in one place, staying in a relationship, like not because like yeah, just staying in one place and not changing even more. Like just being okay, accepting who I am, being okay with it, just taking it for what it is and moving forward with it. That's something that I feel like I'm learning to do more recently. I wish there was like a light on back there. I could turn it on, but I'm too lazy. 1 second. Ta-da, it's lit. So, yeah, I think that like just improving your body will really improve like so many other things. And it's certainly done so for me. But I still feel like I haven't been in this place of feeling stability and safe for long enough. So I feel like my body, like the neural pathways are so inclined to jump back into like the feeling of terror and feeling scared and unstable, because it's just so still very hot, like every so often, and this will happen to Andrew as well, like every so often, like a feeling from the past will come back, like a diarrhea or like vertigo, or like not vertigo full on because that's pretty much gone, but like just remnants of the nervous system dysregulation will come back, or we will have a conversation with somebody from the past and remember what it felt like, and it'll feel so gripping. It'll feel like everything is just falling apart, like really dysregulated feeling. And then we'll remember how far we've come, like how much we've healed, because we'll remember like how it was. And it'll also remind us that we need to rest, because it's like your body reminding you, like, stay still, keep resting, because I can come back to bite you. This problem can come back to bite you at any given moment. So yeah, I'm still in this position of like not feeling fully confident to charge ahead, but feeling good enough that like I'll give it a few months in this state, maybe even a year, to just be a kid, really, really be a kid, like the childhood that I always wanted, to have it here and to just live it, and keep doing my voice lessons every day, like keep dancing, going to dance lessons every day or every other day, keep going to the gym every day or every other day, like keep doing my somatic therapy sessions, keep playing piano, keep like practicing confidence, modeling posture, whatever it is that I'm working on myself, and reading and learning as much as I can. And overall, over time, the ideas will come. I mean, I'm so full of ideas, but it's like narrowing it down to what I want to be spending my time, more of my time doing, what kind of brand I want to be focusing on. Like, there's already so many products that I want to sell, and every day it's another thing, and I can't make up my mind on what I want to hunker down and focus on. Analysis paralysis. So really learning to calm down my nervous system, getting massages regularly, going to the spa regularly, really just calming my nervous system and building up that confidence in a way that I really didn't do before, because I was just in a constant state of moving around and freaked out and survival mode, and yeah, so that's where I am. And like another thing is, like, people will say you should try to connect to, you can't really heal until you've like healed your past, or you've connected to your past. Every time I connect to someone from my past, it's not bad actually, but I get reminded of like what I used to be. Like, you have a certain dynamic with your friends and family from your childhood, let's say. I'm just gonna say like childhood, because that's like the most striking difference of you're so different from when you were as a child, even though you're the same person. So if you're like me, like you're like on this grand healing journey, healing self-improvement, self-development, like improving your life type of thing, and you reconnect after many, many years with somebody from your childhood. Sometimes it can be really shocking to be in that, because the last time that you connected with that person, you were in that situation, you were a totally different person. You were like maybe a less healthy person, or maybe the kind of person that was willing to put up with certain things that you would never put up with now, that you would never tolerate. Like, you were willing to tolerate with certain things, let's say as a kid, that now you would never dream of tolerating. So that's me. Like, I tolerated all kinds of stuff as a kid because I was a kid, and I was in a situation where, like, a lot of you guys probably know, like, when you're a kid, you're obviously going to tolerate things more because you don't know any better. And you also don't have a choice, because it's not like you can just walk out of your parents' house when you don't like the way things are going. Or whoever's house you're in. You just can't walk out, march out, and run off to find a different household when you don't like the way things are moving. So, as a kid, as an adult, like, when you go back to connecting with the things that you connected with and interacted with as a kid, you're just like shocked sometimes. Like, for me, I'm shocked that I ever put up with things. Like, I ever put up with this person, this thing, that thing. And sometimes it can feel like, oh, well, am I the problem, or is the whole world the problem? But it might actually be your whole world that is the problem, because your whole world was just the world that you carved out as the person that you were when you were younger, which is someone that tolerated things that you would never tolerate right now. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but when you're a kid, you're a certain way. You're like very open, very tolerant of everything, because you don't really know the difference between, you don't have like the judgment yet to say, like, this isn't nice, this isn't being nice to me. Like, so you'll tolerate somebody calling you like icky face to your face, and then you'll kind of attract that kind of person to your life, because the kind of person that treats you in a way that you don't like, you'll attract it, because maybe people like that need an outlet. Maybe that's someone that's hurting, so that kind of person needs an outlet to pour out their negative energy into, and they found that you're the kind of person that has tolerated it, because you grew up in a household where maybe your parents poured that kind of negative energy into you, or maybe you were exposed to that kind of negative, or maybe it's just in your body. Like, it's, a lot of these things are in our body. It's not even that someone consciously taught us this. So you learned to absorb it, and then you start to attract the kind of people that need to release that kind of negative energy. So you go around through your adolescent years, your 20s, whatever, 30s, and you start, and you only, and not only do you attract people like this, you become deeper and deeper and deeper into this paradigm, into this abusive paradigm. So it starts off with you accepting like regular abuse. Then you're like trained. As you get older, you become deeper into it. You start to feel jaded about yourself. You start to, you learn how to make yourself as small as possible. You learn to beat down on yourself more. And you will meet all kinds of people that will keep expanding and widening this skill you have of tolerating abuse. And then one day you wake up and you're like, you know what? I want to be a more confident person, because I have to be, because I have to make money. And in order to make money, I need confidence. I need to go and sell a skill or a service that I have, or I need to go and make a risky business decision. I need to go buy a bunch of merchandise, or I need to create a brand that will speak to my identity, who I am, but who am I even without any confidence? So you decide one day that you, in order to survive, you need confidence, and you need to be proud of yourself, and you need to like be the kind of person that doesn't tolerate abuse. You need to lose weight, you need to look and feel good and healthy, and in order to do that, you need to
remove the people in your life and the parts of your life that are abusing you. But then when you do that, you realize that everybody that you've removed from your life that is abusing you, like, you're just left with nothing. You're left with nothingness. Like, who else is left? And then you start to think to yourself, well, maybe the problem was me, because if everybody else is the problem, then maybe I'm the problem. But I actually don't think that's the case. I think that it is possible that everybody else in your life was the problem, because you were just attracting that kind of energy. And the truth is that it's not going to leave you completely alone, because I do actually have, in fact, I've become so much closer to like certain people in my life that were just sort of there, but like I didn't think to be close to them, because I was so busy getting wrapped up in the emotional energy of the people that were like in like abusive relationship with me, that was like kind of toxic, and maybe it was even toxic for that person too. But I was so wrapped up in that energy that I wasn't even able to see the people in my life that were there, or like they weren't like in my life, but they were like sort of adjacent to my life, or like they were kind of like exposed and accessible to me, but I wasn't being attracted to them because I wasn't in that toxic energy cycle. I wasn't in that healthier energy cycle. So I was stuck in that toxic cycle with these other people. So I'm not able to notice like the many people that were in my life that I could have focused on, that were a little bit healthier and that might have been able to be better for me, that I could be better for them too. So anyways, this is me. Like, recently, I went to a Passover Seder. As you can see, April 25th. So I went to a Passover Seder recently here, which I didn't even know there was a Chabad. It's not like a real Chabad, because I don't think they're allowed to have Chabad, like Jewish institutions here, because it's a Muslim country. But anyways, I went to like this Passover Seder at someone's house. They were very, very nice. And it was my first Passover Seder. If you don't know what a Passover Seder is, it's just Jewish stuff. It's like, if you know Christianity, the Last Supper, like, I don't know how else to explain it. Passover Seder. Google it. So I went to a Passover Seder for the first time after many, many years. Actually, the last time I went to a Passover Seder was like with my family, like 3 years ago or something. So, so not many years, but I forgot that I did that. That was after many years. So anyways, we're like sitting there, and it was Andrew's first time going to Seder. We're sitting there, and it was so nice. And the person who invited us was my friend from childhood that actually lives here now, which I probably told you guys about. So we're sitting there at the Seder, and I was thinking to myself, like, wow, this is so nice. I can't believe I had access to this. These people invited us to their home just by the mere fact that I'm Jewish and I have a Seder. But Andrew wasn't even Jewish, and they invited him in, and like we just sat there and like participated in it, and it was so nice. And like there were Jews there from all over the world. There were people from Singapore, from like Morocco, from France, from LA, like I don't know. So there's like a bunch of people from all over. It was very interesting, and it was really nice, and we all kind of like sang together, and I started to feel nostalgic, like, wow, I'm on my journey of healing and like making my life better and becoming like this awesome person that I want to be. But what if, like we're wanting to have kids and all that, like what if that awesome life could use like a Jewish community here, like, if I have access to these people that are like willing to be there for me no matter what, and it's so nice, and they're so loving and so warm, and they invited us. They said whatever we need, we can call them, we can come to Shabbat meals free of charge. Like, holy shit, that's so nice. Like, who has that? What if I should be taking advantage of that? What if I should be like tapping into it more? It's like family. So then I started reaching out to people from my past. I reached out to this girl that I was friends with when I was
in the community. And actually I was like a teenager when I was friends with her, teenager, early 20s, and no, teenager. And connecting with her, I was also in my early 20s. And I was like a totally different person. I connected with her and I told her about the Seder that I went to, and I was like, it was so nice, and like, wow, like that's so cool. And immediately she started like, it was just, I forgot that I was a different person when I talked to her back then. And they're like, I'm a different person than I am now. Meaning like, I'm so much less tolerant of things that I was very tolerant of when I was friends with her. Like, so I guess when we were friends, anyways, she like immediately was like, hey, like, why don't you get married with Andrew? Like, why don't you have like a wedding? Why don't you have a Jewish wedding? Why don't you have like a ketubah and all these things? But the conversation, like, it felt like so much anxiety, and it felt like the person that I was. It sort of reminded me of like this person I used to be, that I'm like mostly not anymore. Like, I'm kind of getting out of that anxiety. I've been working really hard to get out of it. And it doesn't come back except for like in short little bursts, but when it does, like, I really feel it because I'm normally not feeling anxious like that all the time. And it was like all about like impressing the community and like what will people say and what will the community say. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, dude, you have no idea who I am now. Like, I'm a totally different person than I was when I was friends with her, when I was in the community, when I was like in all of that. I'm really a different person. Like, the idea that I would even do anything to impress people, like what will people say and like what will people, oh my god, I'm so out of that. Like, I would never get married for what will people say. Like, that is so not. Cat. But that's just one reminder. And then another reminder was like, so I was feeling nostalgic, so I went into my family. I have a family group chat with like some other family friends, and I posted like a Xoxo video. The first time in years. Like, these people, I don't have anything to do with them. They're people from my community. Like, I barely talk to my family. My family is so nice to me, but I am still very protective of my energy. And I don't really like talking to them too much because I don't want them to snap me out of my own personal protective energy. So, like, just one little tiny communication after years in this, like, family friends group chat. Where I wish them happy holidays. They're all Orthodox, and I'm trying to be nice and trying to show some love. And it came from nostalgia, just a drop of love that came from nostalgia. And I posted like a video, and the video was like a video that I put on Instagram. Actually, it was a video of monkeys, and because I love these monkeys. And so that's just the way I was showing love, was I posted a video of monkeys in there. And I didn't realize that at some point in the video, there were monkeys having sex in the middle of a street. So there was a misunderstanding among people of the group, maybe my mom, maybe somebody else, that I was putting that video in the group to sort of like mock religion. Because I said like, happy holidays from the monkeys, like, you know, just to be cute. And with this video, and there's like these monkeys having sex in the middle of the street, and all of a sudden, like, instead of receiving my tiny little act of love, which I don't love these people at all. I don't care. I barely love my own family. I don't care because I'm too busy protecting my energy to even care. So, like, this one tiny little thing that I put immediately is received with so much shame. Because, like, what I don't realize is because I don't spend so much time in these communities anymore. I don't spend so much time in American, like, political communities anymore. I don't spend time in these religious communities anymore. To remember that, like, every single one of these people that's in these big, large systems is spending their life living in shame. They're spending their life living in these really, really toxic, abusive systems,
relationships, communities where they're constantly getting abused, they're constantly abusing each other. They are so filled with so much shame that somebody posts like a monkey video in the chat with like a happy holidays after years to show their love, to show their like, to give you like a tiny bit of their feeling of heartfelt love, which for me is these monkeys. And their first instinct was like, oh my gosh, they were like calling my mom and like, oh my gosh, like, or like, what's going on? What was Pardes' intention? My intention with posting a video of monkeys was to share something that I love with people that I love. Okay? So it's like, I forgot that that's what it's like. Like, I'm not trying to be promiscuous. I'm not trying to share monkey porn. Like, that's not what this is at all. In fact, I totally forgot that there was monkeys having sex in the video. It was actually really funny. Like, I was filming the streets in Ubud. I was filming the streets and there's just monkeys jumping all over the place. And 2 monkeys just jumped in the shot and started having sex. And if you go on my Instagram, you'll see this video. It's so funny. It's hilarious. It's very cute. So anyways, yeah, that's all I meant by it was happy holidays, because I just haven't communicated with you guys in a while and like just want to share what is love to me. But like, I forget that like these are not people that I want to be interacting with regularly. Like even my family. Like my family is stuck in the ultra-Orthodox community and in this like broader like Jewish community where like everybody is so shame-based. I know Christian communities are like this because I got stuck in the Christian community too briefly, and they're just like this. The conservative community, the liberals, everybody, Americans, like people that are just part of big systems. Russians are like this too, because the only reason I'm saying this is because there's a lot of Russians here, and sort of getting to know people a little bit and their dynamics. Everybody is like this, like, but it's usually like in big systems, big communities of people where like everybody is so like when you're just stuck in this like big system where people are having to impress each other to get by and trying to like, oh no, I would never get a job as a restaurant waitress. I would never get a job mowing lawns. I would never do this or that. Oh, like provide a service. Oh, I could never do that. That's so shameful to my family. That's so embarrassing. How could I lower myself? Oh, to admit to other people that I don't want to spend $300 on a Marc Jacobs bag or $400 on a Marc Jacobs bag. Oh no, like no, I have to show people. So people really hurt themselves. They hurt their budgets. They don't make money. They become slaves, trapped to these very abusive systems that tell them that they're nothing, they're stupid, that they're like just dust in the earth. Systems that tell them to be small, that tell them to be sacrificial, that tell them to not do anything for themselves. And that even if you do have any bit of goodness or anything to offer in your heart, it's going to be kicked to the curb and probably seen as malicious. That's like the worlds that I was living in, and I'm so happy to be out of it. Very, very, so very happy to be out of it. And if that means being alone, you're never alone. There's always going to be people. I mean, as long as you still have a place to live, you have food. Oh my God, there's so many people. There's people, our hosts, they're always wanting to talk to us, like the people that we live in their compound. They're like right outside of me, like always wanting to talk, there's always people. You will never be alone. You will, as long as you need food to eat, someone's making your food. As long as you need a bed to sleep on, someone made this bed, someone brought this bed here, someone brought it here. You're never going to be alone. As long as there is the internet, you will always have somebody to talk to. Like, you know, I started doing these videos because I wanted validation. I just wanted to talk. I wanted to connect with people because I spent so many years feeling alone and like living in my head, being in daydreams, that and I really felt alone in the community. So making YouTube videos was like how I could talk and feel validated and know that somebody somewhere hears me. And this is how I've made friends with a lot of you guys. Like, I've become friends with a lot of people that literally they watched my videos, and that's how we became friends, because they got to know me and then I got to know them. There's always going to be people that will love what you have to say, that want to hear it. Why should you hurt your health, make yourself more jaded, and become the kind of person that you don't want to be? You don't want to be a jaded person. You think a jaded person is good for anybody? You don't want to be the kind of person that's going to hurt people, that's going to be negative at people. You don't want to be the kind of person that's like going to hate people and be malicious. Like, but if you keep spending time in places that are like that, your overall health is going to go down, because the more jaded you become, it affects your body, because you're going to become fat, you're going to become ugly. Why do you think in like middle America, these like poor communities, everybody is fat and ugly? It's not a coincidence that places where people are very negative and very doubtful and very controlling of each other, in the community it was like this too, in our community, like the more like religious kind of poor, whatever, like it's no coincidence that everybody is also going to be fat and ugly. They're going to have more health problems. This is all connected. Like, all this stuff is in your body. It's happening in your body. And when you start to heal, you notice that like your body is going to struggle. Like, when you start to heal your mind, you'll start to become sick, because that's your body trying to shed like all these toxins. And I've been talking to so many people like this, like recently, because I've been going through my own healing journey. I've been connecting with like other people that have been going through their healing journey. And they're going through a journey that they think is happening here in their mind, but it's happening in their body. And like they're becoming sick. Everybody is becoming sick through it. They're shedding these like feelings. And it's actually really beautiful to see. But I really don't want to ever have to be back in a place where it's like a big system, where people treat each other the way they did in the places where I lived, and like communities I engaged in. And it's usually these communities where everybody's like either part of like a big, huge structure where like somebody is paying for everybody's well-being, or they're part of like a corporation where like one corporation is paying for everybody. Like, it's really a slave mindset. The kind of people that are attracted to this mindset, they're slaves, and until they might never get out of it, and then they might just get deeper and deeper into it. They become less healthy as they become older. They'll become less healthy. They'll become more jaded. They'll become harder to be around. Do you want to be that? Like, I don't think you want to be that. I don't think that you want to be the kind of person that is unhealthy and that makes other people unhealthy too. Probably like the biggest curse and blessing that happened to me. Like, everything is a curse and a blessing at the same time. Nothing is ever like good or bad. Nothing is ever like only good or only bad. Like, but probably like one of the biggest blessings that happened to me was when I was in DC. And I told this story to you guys a million times, but when I was in DC, I was working at Fox and Fox News, and I was having trouble connecting to the people in my office, like the producers. You know, they were mostly girls. They were like always just huddled together in a circle. They would talk about stuff, whatever. And I kind of felt like I felt left out. I didn't feel like I knew them or they knew me, and I wanted to connect with them because I was actually very excited to be there, and I loved my job. I thought it was the coolest job ever, working as a screenwriter at Fox News. I thought that was very cool that I got to do that. So it was Halloween time, and like these people, anyways, It's the same thing that happened with that family chat. Like, but worse, much worse, because it was my job on the line. Like, I was trying to become friends with these people. These people, they would gossip about everybody. They would gossip about Megyn Kelly. They would gossip about, like, Sarah Huckabee or whoever was working at Fox. I forget their names. Lauren something. I don't remember. I don't even remember who used to work there, because I've like erased Fox News staff from my memory. But they would like sit there and gossip, and I wanted to be close to it, and I just felt a little bit iced out. And so it was Halloween time, and I wanted to send them happy Halloween. So I sent them a happy Halloween with a picture of myself wearing a blonde wig, like looking like Megyn Kelly with like a charcoal face mask, and it had to do with a joke. It had to do with a joke that Megyn Kelly was fired for like something she said. I don't remember. But anyways, I was trying to send them like a heartfelt something that to me was love. To me was a connection. It was me trying to connect to them. But I fell flat on my face with it. They did not take it as love. They fired me the next day. They fired me immediately. Like, I got called to the office, fired, and told to march out the front door. And everybody at that office, at that Fox News office, heard about it. And they heard about it, and it was so bad because I guess they thought that I was making an offensive joke or something. Like, it was very bad. It was like career ending. It was like the kind of and they wrote me down as gross misconduct, even though they never told me what the reason was that they were firing me for. Like, they never said it. They couldn't tell me what was the reason. But then later I looked when I was trying to apply for unemployment. I couldn't get it because it was like they came back and it said you were fired for gross misconduct, which is really weird. I still don't understand what happened with that. But that's like another example of like, you just, in these circles, in these communities where everybody is a slave. It's raining outside, so it's hard to hear me. In these communities where everybody is a slave, everybody is walking around not focusing on themselves, not focusing on investing in their own health, their own well-being, their own business, their own brand, nothing. They're not building anything that is good. All they're doing is figuring out how to not get on the shit list of other abusive people in their society. These are large systems of highly abusive people. They're abusing themselves, their own bodies. They're all fat and ugly, except the people that are pumping they have enough money to pump enough plastic surgery into themselves. They're unhealthy. They're fat, unhealthy, like people that are really hurting themselves. You know, maybe they're not fat and unhealthy, but maybe it's like very unsustainable. Like they're going to be fat and unhealthy in a few years. Like communities of people that are just moving this way, down, instead of moving up. And like probably the biggest blessing that happened to me was being forced out of that system. That's probably the best thing that could happen to you, is getting fired from a job like that, being forced to leave a career like that, being forced to leave a community like that, not fitting in, being shamed, being humiliated, being alienated. I pissed myself in morning prayers. In elementary school, I pissed in my pantyhose in the middle of the morning prayers in front of the whole class. One of the best things that happened to me, because it forced me out of the box. It forced me out of the system, and it forced me to try to carve my own identity outside of it, which ended up saving my life, for real. Because if I was still in there, I wouldn't be going to therapy. I would be too ashamed to go to therapy, because people that go to therapy, oh no, other people might hear about it. They might know that you went to therapy. I would be really screwed up, because my childhood is not stable, and I needed therapy. I needed to heal. I needed to, I wouldn't be the person that I want to be. And alienation, for me, from all the places that I've been in, that I've been embarrassed of, people in DC. Okay, people in DC. So there is that element of DC. But then there was like an element of DC that thought that I was spying on them. They thought I was a spy. I was working for the feds or for the CIA or whatever. If I was working as a spy, it would have been without my knowledge. Okay, somebody told me that I was, actually a few people told me that I'm a sleeper agent, which now knowing what I know, I might have actually been that. I might have been a sleeper agent because it was not with my knowledge. I was not spying on anybody. I was just looking to be loved and accepted and be part of a community, but I was my energy was too chaotic for that to work. Like, I was just too much, too different, too crazy, too weird. People would meet me and then project their ideas of like what they wanted me to be. You know what? It is too loud. I'm gonna continue this when it's finished raining, and until then, I'm gonna watch my favorite show, Young Sheldon. So pretty when it rains. It's very soothing. I'm just gonna lie down on my bed and watch a show while this passes. So peaceful. I love this, dude. So it calmed down a little bit, and I just wanted to finish my thought. Is like, I know that I talk shit about like so many different communities and stuff, but ultimately it's for my own protection. Like, I don't want to end up in situations like that, and it doesn't mean that I hate people, and like I hate that I even have to explain myself. Like, oh, it's not coming from malice. Oh, I don't hate anybody. Of course you don't hate anybody. You don't hate bears, but you're still gonna try to protect yourself from them. And especially if you're like me and you're just so vulnerable and you're so unfiltered and you're just so open, your heart is on your sleeve. Like, what are you... Just because you love people, like, you're going to hurt yourself, you're gonna let yourself get trampled. Like, ultimately, I love everybody, but it doesn't mean that I have to put myself in the way of their trampling. And it doesn't even mean that I have to be good for them at all. You don't owe anybody anything. Like, the only person that you owe, first and foremost, is yourself. Then the people that you love and you are, like, sort of responsible for, like, let's say your children or whatever, like maybe your partner, you know, to the extent that you are responsible, you're not really responsible for your partner the way that a parent is. But other than that, like, who do you owe? Your community? Like, this is why I don't, and this is why I'm not part of, like, a community like this, and why, if I am going to be part of a community, it's going to be my own community. People that follow me, and I do have friends that, like, it's kind of like my own little community of people that I feel close to and I feel safe with, and I feel safe to be myself with, without worrying that me sharing my feelings and being myself is going to, like, somehow hurt people. Like, even the fact that I can come here and talk shit about my partner. By the way, the fact that I have a partner that will allow me to do that. Do you know anybody whose partner will allow them to say whatever they want? If you do, congrats. You know healthy people that are, like, allow their partner to be human. Nobody in, like, literally any of those communities that I know of has that. Nobody in literally any of those communities, in the Frum community, in, like, the Orthodox Jewish community, political community, Christians, none of that has this ability to just be human in front of their partner or in front of other people. Like, people are abusing each other to the point where they have to be fake, they have to be inauthentic, they have to You know what happens to your body? You know what happens to your body when you like have a feeling, you have an emotion, anger, sadness, whatever your feeling is. And it's even excitement, even happiness, but that feeling is not able to come out. You're not able to like outwardly express it or like manifest it into something or channel it. So it has to be forced to stay inside of your body. You have to keep it to yourself and stay in your body. And it has to transform into something. It's not just gonna like stay there and then be forgotten about. It's gonna become part of your body. You start to have health problems because this energy has nowhere to go. It's not, it has nowhere to go but the inside of your body. You are going to become fat. You're gonna have digestive problems. You're gonna have your nervous system is going to be dysregulated. It's not going to be like this. It's going to be like this. So many things happen. That's why people, physical activity, like not sitting in a chair all day long. Physical activity is like, it's not just to lose weight, which everybody, and this is the other sick thing about these worlds, these paradigms and communities. Nobody even cares about their own health. All they care about is looking skinny, not even looking healthy, looking skinny for other people. For other people that abuse them. These are the kind of people that exist in these worlds. These are the kind of people that, however much I love them, I don't want to be around because they're going to hurt me, because hurt people. These people's energy, they're absorbing all this toxic, abusive energy. They're going to abuse other people. They're going to abuse their children. This is like another thing, and I'm sorry to you if you have lip fillers, but if I see somebody that has a lot of like, okay, if you take care of your body and you're very healthy for yourself, and then you choose to like get lip fillers and you choose to get plastic surgery and stuff, like, well, I actually really respect you. Like, you look beautiful, and you invest in yourself and your body, and your beauty is really part of that. Good. But like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are unhealthy, but they're still investing in their outward appearance in a way that like they're investing more in their outward appearance, in getting like hand designer stuff, handbags, things like that, plastic surgery, all these things, before they're willing to invest in their own personal health. Those are people that are not safe to be around, for me. Those are like the kind of people where they're going to feed off of my energy. Like if I go in an environment, they're going to rely on me to be honest. They're going to rely on me to state the obvious, but they will never do it themselves. And in fact, if we're in a room full of people and there's somebody abusing us, someone is whipping all of us with a stick, I will not be safe in such an environment because I will be the only person that will say something about it, because I'm the only person that doesn't have a filter, that is a blabbermouth. So I'm going to say, oh, why is this person hitting everybody? And then everybody, instead of saying, wow, thank you, Pardes, for being the only honest person in this room, everybody is going to look at me and they're going to say, get away from us. Who are you? Well, what are you saying? This is terrible. How could you say such a terrible thing about our Lord and Savior, whatever this Lord and Savior is that is abusing everybody? So instead of other people like being in any way feeling happy or outwardly grateful or honestly grateful for me saying something about it, they are going to push me down and punish me and make me feel alone, alienated, and ashamed for saying what I see. And they're going to gaslight me and say that what I saw is not what I really saw. So those are the kind of people that are willing to put their public appearance and other people's opinion of them above their own health and their own body. And that does not feel safe for me. That's not feeling safe. So like, one thing that I've learned throughout life is that humiliation is probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Being humiliated, being embarrassed in front of a group of people, a crowd of people, being pushed out of these communities of people where like everybody is worrying about what everybody thinks.
Probably the best thing that happened to my family. Probably the best thing that happened to my family. My family is beautiful. Like, the people in my family, my bloodline, really some of the most beautiful people, my cousins, my relatives, the most beautiful people. Some of them are the most beautiful people that you'll ever see. They have a lot to offer. They have a lot of smarts, intelligence. They're multilingual. All of them are multilingual because, of course, they were born to a family that speaks Farsi, Hebrew, English, other languages, Espanol, whatever languages they learned along the way. But they all play musical instruments. My family, this is a family thing. My relatives, they all play musical instruments. But then they have gotten stuck, and this is like what really bothers me, is that they have like they pay so much lip service to these large systems, people, like they're like trying to impress people, like, oh my gosh, like, you know what, probably the biggest favor that I've done for my family is going off the derech, like leaving the religious community and doing whatever I want and embarrassing them by posting pictures of myself in a bikini on Instagram. Probably the biggest favor that I've done for my family, because it keeps fake people away from them. It keeps like people that are slaves, that are like scared of like marrying my siblings because, oh no, like they have a sister that like went off the derech. Like, it keeps those people away from my family. But see, my family is not, they're probably not even going to see this as this. They're probably not going to realize this. For a while. They will realize it eventually. But that's probably one of the biggest favors I've done for my family, is forcing them out of the box. But I don't want to. Like, I've told my family so many times, you guys, I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to force you out of the box. I don't want to force you to not have to be subject to communities that are fake and slave-minded and inauthentic and just monkey see, monkey do, follow the leader, our Lord and Savior, whatever the latest Lord and Savior is, okay? I don't want to force you guys to be anything other than what you want to be, your power, okay? This is what I tell my family all the time. I don't talk to them so much, but when I do, this is what I say sometimes. I don't want to like subject you guys to it, and I would like it if you don't want to be exposed to that. Like, if you don't want me to embarrass you, and I say this to Andrew a lot, I say this to Andrew. Andrew says he would love to be embarrassed. Andrew says, humiliate me, daddy, mommy, whatever. Andrew wants me to humiliate him. He doesn't, but he just doesn't care. He understands this concept that I'm saying. Like, but I say this to my family all the time. Like, I'm not trying to like humiliate anybody out here. I'm just trying to be my own self. And being my own self means I'm just trying to attract the kind of people that are also free and like their own selves. I'm trying to attract that in my community. I'm trying to attract that in my comments, in the people that watch these videos. Like, I'm trying to attract people that don't give a shit, because those are the kind of people that I feel safe around. Those are the kind of people that won't throw me under the bus. Those are the kind of people that, if for some reason we're in a room with a dude that starts whipping everybody, and I say, guys, there's a guy that's whipping everybody, what should we do? Or I tell the guy, why are you whipping us? Why are you abusing us? Other people will look at me and say, thank you, Pardes, for stating what is happening here. Thank you for standing up to the guy. And now, thanks to you, maybe we won't have to deal with this. Or better yet, maybe these people will jump in and also start speaking up and being honest about what they like and what they don't like. And maybe that guy will stop. Or maybe these people will be honest enough and authentic enough to validate what is going on and maybe want to run away with me, and we can go to Bali, we can go to some heavenly place and be free together and be happy because these people were willing to be honest and not fake. It is
really dangerous to be around people that are dishonest, that are fake, that will throw you under the bus. Instead of standing up to the lion, they will throw you under the bus to be eaten by the lion because they're so scared. I don't want to be around those people. I don't want that in a partner. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I really, really, really want to weed out the chances of anybody in my life being like that. And like, the truth is, I am very happy to leave my family behind. But I've told them, like, if you think that I'm in any way nice or beneficial to still be connected to, great. That would make me so happy, because I actually really love my family. I really do. And I love my cousins. I'm really close to one of my cousins. I love my friends. Like, I've kept some of my friends from the community. Like, I really just don't want to be a burden to anybody, But if there's ever an inkling of, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to be humiliated in front of my friends because I'm friends with Pardes. Oh no, Pardes is such a fuck up. Like, I'm so embarrassed to be friends with her. Okay, if that's your mindset, I don't want you to be friends with a fuck up. Like, I don't want you to be friends with anybody that's embarrassing for you. I want you to go and be friends with people that are not embarrassing for you. But chances are you're so fake that, like, you actually don't think that I'm embarrassing, but you're just embarrassed in front of your friends because of what they might say, because you're such a slave that you're willing to hurt yourself and make yourself less healthy and really, really, like, be poor in life. Like, that you can have this skill to offer. That you can offer, like, a service. That you can go and buy real estate, do this thing. Like, there's so many things you could do. Read my book, House Hackers Anonymous. There's so many things that you can do to make money. That you can do these things, but you're just not doing it because you're just so afraid of what people might say. People that are garbage in your life. You're so afraid of what they might say, so you're gonna hurt yourself. Anyways, there was my TED Talk. See you guys. Look in the description if I'm, like, selling anything. Really, the main thing that I'm selling is my book, House Hackers Anonymous. But I also did a human design session with Francis Cassidy, so you can go check that out too. Get a promo code, get a discount, whatever is in the description. Okay, see you guys in the next video.